Welcome back to Next Level Pets, your home for all things related to living the best life you can with your pets and also how to prepare for and what to do after they've left our lives. So today I want to talk a little bit about action and my experience with how I came to believe that to be such a critical and powerful approach when it comes to healing. So if you watch my videos, you should be somewhat familiar with my backstory, but if not, in a nutshell, I lost my mom and I lost my Manx cat Dublin all within about a 6 month, actually about 4 month period of each other. And then the pandemic hit and I was left alone to grieve and to try to mourn both those losses simultaneously. After a while, I became very dissatisfied with where I was at. I kept hurting. I wasn't feeling better. And especially when it came to Dublin, I just had these reoccurring sensations of guilt, of grief, and I just wasn't able to move forward. So as I looked for solutions, I went into therapy, didn't get much relief there. I entered pet grief chat rooms, but that was just kind of, people online talking about how much they were hurting. And I needed something more not motivating, but something more concrete that I could do. I was just so frustrated and restless with my pain, and I just had nowhere to direct it. So slowly but surely, a lot of the main kind of overriding element of my program, of my healing program called Forever in Our Hearts, is action. So some of the things that are in the program are writing guides, supplemental behavior guides, education, different ways to honor your pet, what to do with your house and the space that no longer has your pet in it. So in any kind of situation, whatever emotions we may be feeling, we can either sit in those or we have a choice on how we react. And that can be both positive and negative. So if you're angry in a situation, what do? You can either sit in that, wait for it to pass, or you can react. You can react in the negative, you can react in the positive. Same thing when we're in grief. What are you going to do? Are you just going to sit there and hope it passes, or are you going to react? And how are you going to react? Again, in the negative or the positive. Same thing with happiness or joy. Are you just going to kind of sit in it and just kind of wait for the joy to, subside and return back to baseline? Or are you going to react in a positive way or in a negative way? How can you react in a negative way to joy? Well, you can sabotage it. How do you react in a positive way to joy? Well, maybe you can try to, make somebody else happy and continue that. Maybe you can do something just positive in your own life, to take a positive action. Same thing when it comes to grief. At least that's what I had to eventually develop as a system, as a way that I could start making progress in my healing. So I just really hope that anybody considers anything that you may find in my videos as an inspiration to take some form of action. And if you watch more of my videos, you'll see different suggestions on how to do that. But I challenge you and ask you, do you have the willingness and the commitment to do something about your grief? Because there are positive things that you can do to start healing in a more graceful way, to heal faster, to be just more in control of your grief and your healing, and not kind of stay where I had been in just this kind of perpetual, victim that just kind of kept, reopening that pain and it never kind of healing. It was just like a wound that just, there was no Band-Aids on it, and I couldn't really just, get it to start healing on its own. So that's when I decided to take action and try to, find solutions to help me. And that was the kind of the beginning on how I eventually, over the past few years, developed a program and a system to, to heal and to have concrete steps, to have a plan of action designed to my individual needs and the individual needs of people I've worked with. So hopefully, I'll see more of you here, and, not everything is focusing on grief. I really also want to share different tips and ideas and strategies that I've come across to really make the most out of the time that you have with your pets. That's also a great way of developing positive habits, so that when they're no longer in our lives, you have that almost that stored bank of love, of joy, of appreciation, of gratitude. And it's a great way to motivate you to start healing. And a lot of what I go into is the purpose of why we heal, and how to use the love that we shared with our pet as that source. So anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. More information about my program down below. Please comment, ask any questions that I can answer for you. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much.